Today is the opening ceremony of the 12th special retreat. Today is the month of December. It is the end of 2010, where we will be welcoming 2011 very soon. The retreat here will be from today, December the 1st, till the January the 31st. This is the special retreat. And Theravada is welcoming the Dhamma family who are coming from all over. Theravada is happy to see all the yogis coming here for the special retreat. And especially Theravada is happy to have the opportunity to give Dhamma to all the yogis. Rather than welcoming the 2011 with fun and worthy pleasure, let us all welcome 2011 by the practicing of Vipassana meditation in order to be free from the suffering of the samsara. So Theravada is happy to welcome all of the Dhamma families for this special retreat. In order to welcome 2010 most meaningfully, it is very important that yogis make this precious time, having this opportunity to practice. And Theravada encourages the yogis to make the most out of your retreat so that it will be most beneficial. In the practice of Vipassana meditation, it is important to have correct goals. It is important to have correct aim and goals in the practice. During the Buddha's time, individual people go to the Buddha to ask for meditation instructions, as well as they go in groups in order to ask for guidance and instructions for their practice. But during the Buddha's time, there will not be opening ceremony like this, but they will either go individually or in groups to ask for meditation instructions. And they make use of this instruction by practicing diligently in order to attain their goals and in order to extinguish the defilement within a very short time. So Theravada will explain briefly how they go and take instruction from the Buddha and to learn the method of Vipassana practice from the Buddha. In Samyutta Nikaya, Bhikkhu Sutta, there mentioned how they asked for instruction from the Buddha while Buddha was residing at the Vedavana monastery. In the Bhikkhu Sutta, there mentioned how he asked for instruction for the meditation in order to be free from the ground of existences. So he committed himself in the practice that he will practice according to the guidance and instruction given by the Buddha, not practicing ordinarily, but by practicing diligently according to the guidance and instruction. And he has the 5 factors of his aim and objective. So, practicing, there should be kaya viveka, seclusion of the body, as well as citta viveka, seclusion of the mind, where one mind is secluded from the defilement. If there is lack of mindfulness, the defilement will arise and one will not be a true yogi. So it is very important to have mindfulness all the time, every single second. Just as one should be in seclusion, away from companionship of persons or beings, also as should be Viveka, the mind should be secluded. The mind should be away from the companionship of the Viveka defilement. And also, he promised that he will not be negligent. He will not be negligent or fail to perform things that should be performed. He will not be negligent or fail to refrain that should be refrained from. In other words, he will be apamata. He will not be negligent. He will not fail. He will be vigilant, practicing diligently. Not literally, but diligently. Asati, meaning I will practice with ardent effort, having alertness, readiness, activeness in knowing the object of meditation.
Bahitata Nivado Silvado Siki.
And also, his mind will be inclined to Nibbana, to realize the Nibbana, to be free from old age, disease, and death. So in this way, he has the 5 main objectives of practicing Vipassana meditation. Because it is simple to die. One might think it doesn't have to do with me, I'm a lay person. It is not so. Intelligent think how a lay person can become a bhikkhu. So, in the text, it mentions that the person who practices the straight path of Vipassana meditation, whether the person is a lay person, man or a woman, or a monk or a novice, whoever practices the Vipassana meditation right on the correct path is called a bhikkhu. As a bhikkhu, one should know the suffering of the samsara realm of existence, and as a bhikkhu, one should have the correct aim and objective to be free from the suffering of the realm of existence. It is not enough just to know the suffering of the samsara. One should practice in order to be free from the suffering of the existences by practicing the Vipassana meditation. By the practice of Vipassana meditation, one removes dhamma, craving, upadana, clinging. Removing dhamma and upadana through the practice, one will not be cultivating ordinary form of wholesome deed or the unwholesome deed. Eradicating ordinary form of wholesome deed and unwholesome deed, it will not lead to further existences. So one should be able to practice the Vipassana meditation in order to cut the 3 rounds, in order to cut the defilement, avidya, tanha, and upadana, ignorance, craving, and clinging. By removing, abandoning ignorance, craving, and clinging, one will be called a bhikkhu, regardless whether he is a man, a woman, a novice, or a deity. Whoever practices removing Avidya, Tanha, and Upadana, the person is called a bhikkhu. So one should fear the suffering of the existences, and one should practice Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, the pre-training, in order to abandon ignorance, craving, clinging that can lead to further existences. Whoever it is, whether a layman, laywoman, novice, or monk, or a deity, whoever practices Vipassana meditation in order to be free from the suffering of existences, the person is called a bhikkhu. If the person just bears the appearance of a bhikkhu by wearing robes, but if the person does not practice the Vipassana meditation, then the person will be a bhikkhu by name, a bhikkhu in name only. So one should practice in order to be a true bhikkhu. One should not just be bhikkhu by appearance. So whether it is a man or a woman, if he or she is wearing robes, they should do so with the correct aim and objective of removing the garment in order to cut the suffering of existences. Otherwise, wearing a robe alone without the practice, the person will not be called a bhikkhu. So it's very important to practice in order to be a true bhikkhu. Just by wearing the robe, just by bearing the appearance of a bhikkhu, one cannot be free from the suffering. Whoever a person may be, lay person, man or woman, novice or monk, whoever practices the Vipassana meditation correctly is called a bhikkhu. The monk listens to the brief instruction given by the Buddha, and understanding the instruction, the monk practices according to the guidance. Atapi akamato patitato. The monk practices diligently with ardent effort, not being negligent, aiming for Nibbana. Buddha said that the worthy always ask for guidance and instruction from the Buddha. So they listen to the instruction in theory only, and they don't make, most of them don't make enough effort to practice, to put into practice. So Buddha blames those who only listen to the instruction without practicing according to the instructions. So Buddha believes that the worldlings keep on following the Buddha to listen to the instructions and the Dhamma talk, but most of them do not practice. So these people are the ones who only listen to the theory, but do not practice according to the instructions. What the Buddha said is very true these days. Even these days, there are monks who are learning scriptures in theory, but they lack the practice, they lack the Vipassana, they lack the realization of the Dhamma through the practice. And also, people who are coming from all over, most of them, they have knowledge in technology, and when they come for practice, they read thinking, imagining, rather than noting the present object. So in the practice, they tend to be thinking what it is, why it is, how it is, instead of noting the object right away. And Theravada was correct, saying that people give priority to the knowledge of theory, and most of them do not put into practice. So in order to avoid from that kind of thing, one should not be thinking, imagining why is it, what is it, how is it during their practice. If they are thinking, imagining what it is, why is it, how is it, having many questions in the mind, they will be wasting their time. So Theravada remind the Dhamma family who are here today not to be thinking, imagining in the 60-day special retreat, but to practice diligently. Buddha said that Moga Purika, useless person, they only ask for Buddha to give guidance and instruction. They just follow the Buddha in order to learn the theory, but most of them do not practice. So in the Bhikkhu Sutta, the monk promised to practice respectfully, meticulously, and also mentioning the signs of practice. And Buddha explained by using two factors and explained about the Vipassana practice. Buddha explained two things in order to purify oneself. One should purify the beginning of the wholesome deed. Bodhati Kusalana Dhamana, what it means by the beginning of wholesome deed. Silanta Suvikuta Hoti, meaning that one should purify one precept, one should have pure, one should practice the precept pure and clean in order to make oneself purified by practice of sila. So the first thing, one should observe the precept pure and clean as the foundation in order to purify oneself. Dikita Uduga, also the person should have correct views. The Sikha, the training that the monk as well as the lay should practice are Sila, Samadhi and Panya, morality, concentration and wisdom. One should not just leap like a frog, one should not just jump the steps, but one should go step by step. One should observe the precepts as the foundation. Monks should observe their respective precepts. Novices, nuns should observe their precepts. And as a lay person should observe the 5 precepts, the minimum. And one should refrain from wrongdoing by body and speech. Asila Paṇḍitā Sayadaw, one should have the 8 precepts, having good livelihood as a lay person. 8 precepts can be practiced by observing the 8 precepts. One gets more time for practice as the person does not have to spend time with dinner and everything. So one gets more time in the practice by observing the 8 precepts. Whichever precept that the person is observing, one should practice so that the precept should not be broken or withered. purify outstandingly, one should observe the precepts so that the precepts should not be broken or withered. But these days, people do not give priority to the precept. They think that the precept is not important. They think that the practice in order to keep the mind calm is more important rather than the precept. So they practice certainly not paying attention to the precept, and that should not be done so. And the second is Paṇḍitā Sayadaw. Basic means view or knowledge. One should have the basic view, basic knowledge that the person be by body, speech and mind are the person's true possession. By doing good deeds, one will get good results. By doing bad deeds, one will get bad results. So in this way, one should have the basic knowledge, basic view that good deeds bring good results, bad deeds bring bad results. Bad behavior by body, speech and mind are polluted, dirty, and they can bring bad results. The example is given when a person takes nutritious, healthy food in a timely manner. The nutrition will pervade in the body, and the person will be healthy and strong. If the person takes harmful food, the person will be harmed. And if there is poison, the person can even, the poisonous food can even be fatal. So in order one should avoid the poisonous food, harmful food that is unhealthy. If a person has taken harmful food by mistake, the person should have remedy right away. In the same way, one should avoid wrongful deeds by body, speech, and mind in order to avoid bad consequences. One should have Anapana. One should have the correct view that good deeds bring good results, bad deeds bring bad results. It is the person, good and bad deeds, that are creating the results. No other person can create. So Buddha guided the way so that beings can practice in order to be free from the suffering. Buddha cannot do anything in person, but Buddha only leads the way by guiding, by giving instruction. It is the person herself, who should practice according to these guidance and instructions. So one should have the basic knowledge that good deeds bring good results, bad deeds bring bad results. But if the person is doubtful whether these deeds will bring good results, whether the bad deeds will bring bad results, having doubt, confusion, uncertainty, the person will not be able to practice. It is important to have correct knowledge, correct view, and one should have faith and confidence in the practice. Having faith and confidence in the practice, the person will practice diligently. One should awaken one sada, faith and confidence. One should have Paṇḍitā, the view that good deeds bring good results, bad deeds bring bad results. So based on Paṇḍitā Sayadaw, together with faith and confidence, one will be able to perform good deeds that will give good results. Based on the Paṇḍitā Sayadaw, the view that good deeds bring good results, bad deeds bring bad results, one will be able to practice in order to attain Jhana Samadhi, Vipassana Samadhi, Magga Samadhi, Phala Samadhi, and Paṇḍitā Samadhi. So it is important to have the Paṇḍitā Samadhi as the foundation. Based on this foundation, one can gain other Samadhi. It is said that Paṇḍitā Samadhi is the junction. So one should have reached the junction in order to continue to other destinations. Based on Paṇḍitā Samadhi, one can follow the Sanatapa, and one should approach the Kalyana true companion in the practice. Having the guidance and instruction from Kalyana true companion, practicing the Dhamma, one can attain Lokiya Dhamma, mundane absorption. The knowledge that is associated with mundane absorption is Dhamma Samadhi. But here in the meditation center, one is not practicing samatha, so it is not necessary to explain it in detail. In order to attain Vipassana Samadhi, in order to attain Vipassana knowledge, one has to practice Vipassana meditation based on Paṇḍitā Samadhi. And we will later on explain how Vipassana should be practiced. One should awaken Sada, faith and confidence, and one should cultivate faith and confidence through the practice of the Vipassana meditation in order to attain Vipassana knowledge. By practicing the Vipassana meditation, the mind will be purified and one will gain knowledge discerning the Nama Rupa distinctly. When one develops knowledge, Sada, faith and confidence will become stronger and stronger, and one will gain knowledge into cause and effect, impermanent suffering and non-self. Practicing, continuing the practice, the person will discern fast arising and passing away of the object. One will experience peace, joy, subtlety, tranquility, and so on. So, based on Paṇḍitā Samadhi, one should awaken the Sada, and through the practice of Vipassana, one should cultivate the awakened Sada. One develops Vipassana knowledge stage by stage. By developing Vipassana knowledge stage by stage, the person's faith and confidence becomes stronger and stronger. And as the person's knowledge becomes mature, one realizes the cessation of the Nama Rupa. Realizing the cessation of Nama Rupa through the Magga Samadhi, Phala Samadhi, path and fruition knowledge. Attaining Magga Phala, path and fruition knowledge, there will be Sattva Samadhi, reviewing knowledge. Sattva Samadhi, reviewing knowledge, does not need to be practiced, but as one attains path and fruition knowledge, meditation. By practicing Vipassana meditation, respectfully, diligently, meticulously, one gains knowledge discerning Dhamma Rupa. One will develop knowledge stage by stage. One will develop Vipassana knowledge stage by stage, and Sada, faith and confidence will become stronger and stronger, and finally, when knowledge becomes mature, one realizes Nibbana. Realizing the Nibbana, the faith and confidence will become firm and unshaken. So one should practice till that level. When Buddha asleep, the monk got satisfied, practiced according to the guidance and instructions given by the Buddha, and the monk became an arhat very soon. In the Bhikkhu Sutta, the monk became an arhat very soon through the practice. But nowadays, it will take longer. Even if one cannot lead us to the standard of the Bhikkhu, even if you cannot make up to the standard of the monk in the Bhikkhu Sutta, but one should at least have the aim and objective of realizing at least the first half and present knowledge. Through the practice of the Vipassana, one leaves behind 2010 and one welcomes 2011 by practicing high-class Vipassana practice. So charity encourages the Asian relatives, the world relatives, as we all live on the planet Earth. We are also samsara relatives, and according to the teaching of the Buddha, we have been related to each other as family members, as parents and children, aunts and nephews, uncles and niece, and so on. So we are samsara relatives. Especially as we practice the teaching of the Buddha, we are Dhamma relatives. So charity encourages the Dhamma relatives to practice diligently so that the Dhamma relatives will make the most profit from this retreat and attain the path and wisdom knowledge. So in the Bhikkhu Sutta, the monk practice according to the five factors: ego, upasato, apamato, agati, patitato, and became an arhat. So charity encourages the Dhamma relatives. May you all be able to practice successfully so that you will have the Dhamma blood within yourself, so that we will be related